The restaurant was buzzing with the usual Friday night energy. Clinking glasses, laughter echoing off the red brick walls, the scent of garlic and fresh basil hanging in the air like a warm embrace. But at table 12, in the corner by the window, the atmosphere was anything but ordinary. A man in a crisp blue button-down shirt sat across from a woman who'd just arrived, her cheeks flushed from the cold December wind outside. She was nervous, fidgeting with the napkin in her lap. He smiled politely, but his eyes held something deeper. And then he spoke words that silenced the nearby tables, words that spread like wildfire through the dining room until waitstaff paused mid-step and diners wiped away tears they didn't expect to shed tonight. This is the story of Jake Harlan and Emily Carter, a story that started with good intentions gone wrong, but ended with a lesson in love that none of us will ever forget. Let's rewind a bit to understand how we got here. Jake Harlan was 35 years old, living in a quiet suburb outside Chicago, Illinois. He was the kind of guy everyone in town knew and respected, a high school history teacher at Lincoln High, coaching the junior varsity soccer team on weekends, and most importantly, the devoted single dad to his 6-year-old daughter, Lily. Lily was his whole world. She had big brown eyes just like her mom's, curly blonde hair that bounced when she ran, and a laugh that could light up the darkest day. But those dark days had come 5 years earlier, when Jake's wife, Sarah, was diagnosed with breast cancer shortly after Lily's first birthday. They fought it together: chemo, radiation, endless hospital visits, but in the end, cancer won. Sarah passed away when Lily was just 2, leaving Jake to navigate fatherhood alone. Jake threw himself into being the best dad he could be. He learned to braid hair, badly at first, packed lunches with little notes inside, and turned their small backyard into a playground wonderland. But dating, that was off the table. "I'm not ready," he'd say whenever his buddies brought it up. "Lily needs me." And honestly, no one could ever replace Sarah. His friends saw it differently. Mike, his best friend since college and a fellow teacher at Lincoln High, along with his wife Lisa and a couple other couples from their circle, Tom and Jenna, Chris and Sarah, no relation, had been watching Jake for years. He was handsome, kind, funny in that dry, witty way, with kind hazel eyes that crinkled when he smiled and a build from years of running after kids on the soccer field. But he was lonely. They saw it in the way he lit up talking about Lily, but dimmed when conversations turned to adult companionship. One night, after a soccer game where Jake's team won in overtime, the group gathered at Mike and Lisa's house for beers and pizza. Lily was asleep upstairs with their daughter. "Dude," Mike said, clapping Jake on the back. "You gotta get back out there. It's been 5 years. Jake shook his head, nursing his beer. "Nah, I'm good. Lily and I have our routine." Lisa chimed in gently. "But don't you miss having someone to share it with? Adult conversation. Someone to come home to?" Tom nodded. "And let's be real, man, you're a catch. Women would line up." Jenna laughed. "We know a few who'd jump at the chance." Jake rolled his eyes. "Blind dates are the worst. Remember that one you set Mike up with before Lisa? The one who collected taxidermy squirrels?" Everyone burst out laughing, even Mike. "This would be different," Lisa insisted. "We have someone in mind. She's amazing." The group exchanged glances. The someone was Emily Carter, Lisa's coworker at the graphic design firm downtown. Emily was 33, smart as a whip, hilarious, and incredibly talented. She designed logos for big Chicago companies, volunteered at animal shelters, and had a laugh that filled a room. But Emily was also obese. Significantly so. She'd struggled with her weight her whole life, thyroid issues as a teen, emotional eating after a bad breakup in her 20s, and a sedentary job that didn't help. She was confident in many ways, dressing stylishly, wearing bold makeup, and owning her curves with body-positive flair. But dating, it was tough. Guys often swiped left or ghosted after meeting her in person. Her friends had tried setting her up before, but it rarely went beyond one date. Lisa adored Emily. "She's the funniest person I know," Lisa had told the group earlier that week. "And so kind. Jake would love her if he gave her a chance." The guys, Mike, Tom, Chris, were hesitant. "But Jake's in shape. He's used to, Sarah was athletic." Jenna shot them a look. "So what? Emily's beautiful inside and out. And Jake's not shallow." They debated it, half jokingly at first. It could be a prank, Tom suggested with a grin. Set him up with someone totally opposite what he expects. But Lisa was serious. No prank. Emily deserves someone great, and Jake deserves someone who'll love Lily like her own. In the end, they decided to go for it. Lisa talked to Emily, framing it as, a really nice guy, single dad, super sweet. Emily, tired of dating apps, agreed. Why not? Blind dates are adventures. Mike cornered Jake a few days later at school. We set you up. Saturday night. Bella Italia downtown. 7 p.m. No backing out. Jake groaned. Who is she? Surprise. Trust us. He didn't trust them fully, but for Lily's sake, for the idea that maybe one day she'd have a mom figure, he agreed. Saturday came. Jake dropped Lily off at Mike and Lisa's for a sleepover. Daddy has a dinner with a friend, he told her. Is it a date? Lily asked innocently, swinging her legs from the car seat. Maybe. Jake smiled. We'll see. He dressed nicely. Blue shirt that brought out his eyes, dark jeans, a light jacket against the Chicago chill. He arrived at Bella Italia early, nervous in a way he hadn't been since high school. Emily arrived right on time, spotting him from the hostess stand. She wore a red wrap dress that flattered her figure, her dark hair in loose waves, makeup on point. She smiled bravely as she approached. Jake, she said, extending her hand. Emily, nice to meet you. They sat. The waiter brought water, menus. Small talk started. How they knew Mike and Lisa, work, the weather. But Jake could sense the setup. His friends had described, a great girl, but left out details. And Emily, she was not what he'd pictured. Not that he had a type. He hadn't dated in years, but society had types, and his friends knew it. Emily felt it too. The slight pause when she sat down, the way his eyes flicked briefly before meeting hers. She'd been here before. So, Jake said, trying to be genuine. Lisa says you're a graphic designer. That's cool. What kind of stuff do you do? Emily relaxed a bit, talking animatedly about her latest project, a rebrand for a local brewery. She was passionate, funny, gesturing with her hands. Jake found himself laughing genuinely. You're good at this, he said. Making logos and stuff. I can barely draw stick figures. Lily's drawings are probably better than yours then, Emily teased, having heard about his daughter. Oh, definitely. She's an artist in the making. They ordered pasta for him, salad and risotto for her. Conversation flowed. Emily asked about teaching, about soccer coaching. Jake opened up about Lily, showing photos on his phone. She's adorable, Emily said softly, her eyes lighting up. Those curls. Yeah, she gets them from her mom. The mention of Sarah hung there. Emily nodded, understandingly. Lisa told me a bit. I'm sorry. Thanks. It's been a while, but some days are harder. As appetizers arrived, Emily shared her own story. Growing up in a big family in Wisconsin, moving to Chicago for college, her love of baking ironically, given her weight struggles. I make the best chocolate chip cookies, she said with a wink. But I eat too many of them. Jake chuckled, but inside, he was conflicted. She was great, really great. Fun, smart, kind. But physically, he felt that shallow pull, the one society drills into us. His friends probably thought this was hilarious, setting him up with someone different. The friends, by the way, were sneaky. Mike and Lisa happened to book a table across the restaurant with Tom and Jenna, hiding behind menus, watching. See, Lisa whispered. They're talking. Mike smirked. Wait till he realizes we did this on purpose. It was meant as a light prank, to push Jake out of his comfort zone, make him see personality over looks. But it backfired spectacularly. As the main courses arrived, Emily excused herself to the bathroom. Jake sat there, staring at his plate. When she returned, she could tell something shifted. His smile was tighter. Everything okay? She asked. Jake took a deep breath. This was it, the moment that changed everything. Emily, he started, voice low but steady. I need to be honest. Her heart sank. Here it comes, she thought. You're great but, speech. You're incredible, really. Funny, smart, beautiful smile. Any guy would be lucky. But, she prompted, bracing. No but, not the way you think. He paused, eyes meeting hers directly. My friends set this up thinking they'd prank me. They thought because you're heavier, that I'd be shocked or something. That I'd run or make excuses. Emily's face flushed, tears pricking her eyes. The nearby tables quieted instinctively. But they're wrong, Jake continued, voice cracking with emotion. Because sitting here, talking to you, I've laughed more tonight than in years. You get kids, you get life. And yeah, looks matter to some people, but not to me. Not anymore. He reached across the table, taking her hand gently. I've spent 5 years judging myself for not being ready to date, thinking no one could measure up to Sarah. But you're not a replacement. You're you. And if you'll let me, I'd love to see you again. Not because my idiot friends set it up, but because I want to. Tears rolled down Emily's cheeks now. Not from hurt, but from relief, from being seen. Around them, diners were openly crying. A woman at the next table sniffled loudly. The waiter pretended to busy himself but wiped his eyes. One older couple even started clapping softly, and soon the whole section joined in. Emily laughed through tears. Yes, I'd love that. Across the room, Mike's jaw dropped. Lisa beamed, crying too. The prank had taught them all a lesson. That night marked the beginning. Jake and Emily's second date was coffee the next day, Lily in tow, at a park near Emily's apartment. At first, Lily was shy, hiding behind Jake's leg. But Emily pulled out homemade cookies from her bag. Chocolate chip, my specialty. Lily's eyes widened. Daddy, can I? From that moment, they bonded. Emily pushed Lily on swings, listened to her stories about preschool, and never once made Jake feel like he had to choose. Challenges came, of course. Emily's insecurities flared sometimes, wondering if Jake would wake up one day and want someone fitter. Jake had his own grief resurfaces, missing Sarah during holidays. Society wasn't always kind. Stares at restaurants, whispers when they held hands. Emily's family worried he was settling. Jake's mom asked if he was sure. But they faced it together. Emily started walking more, not for weight loss, but for health. Jake joined her, no pressure. He cooked healthier meals, they baked together with Lily. Months turned to a year. Jake proposed on Christmas Eve, under the tree, with Lily holding the ring. Will you be my mommy? Lily asked Emily. Cheers again. Yes. Their wedding was small, outdoors in a Chicago park in fall, leaves turning gold. Mike gave a toast, apologizing for the prank that brought them together. I thought I was playing a joke on Jake. Turns out, the joke was on me, forever thinking looks define love. Jake and Emily built a beautiful life. Lily thrived with 2 parents who adored her. They had another child, a boy, 2 years later. And the message, the one that left everyone in tears that night in the restaurant. True beauty isn't skin deep. It's in the way someone makes you laugh on bad days, holds your hand through grief, loves your child as their own. Love doesn't care about sizes or setups or societal expectations. It just finds a way. Jake's words that night weren't just for Emily. They were for all of us. Don't judge a book by its cover. The best stories, the most emotional, life-changing ones, are often hidden beneath what we first see. And sometimes, a blind date set up as a joke becomes the greatest love story of all.